Hello everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you how to get better at Beat Saber. I am a top 40 player, a professional Beat Saber player, and it's been I think 2.5 years, something like that, since the last time someone's uploaded a good tutorial on how to get better, and I'm going to be teaching you in 2025. So, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you want to learn how to swing, just normally, because normally whenever you go into the game, you're swinging lightly, and this is just the basics, right? We're starting off with the basics. So first, you're going to want to use a combination of wrist and arm. So, for example, whenever you swing, most of the time, if you're just starting off, you're going to use just arm. Or if, say you're a normal Expert Plus player, you're going to use just wrist. What I would say, it's kind of like a flailing motion. So it's kind of like, say you're doing the worm with your arm. It's kind of like that, right? It's like around like that. So use a combination of wrist and arm. That will overall help with especially accuracy and just the way you swing in general. It looks much nicer. So if you're trying to record a video, it looks much nicer like that. Next thing is, this is more of a preference. Some people improve faster, some people improve slower. It's just depending. If you want to do this, you can. Play songs harder than what you're used to. So, say I am an Expert Plus player, right? And I can beat 2 Expert Plus songs. Let's say $100 bills, right? I would play something just slightly harder, say Immortal, or something that I struggle to beat that I'm getting so close to beating. Not too much harder, but to the point where it's a struggle, a challenge. And then you want to spend time grinding that level constantly until you beat it. That is just for people who improve faster. You don't always have to do that, but I would recommend it. Another thing is lots of practice. This is the main thing, okay? You can improve, right? But none of this that I'm saying will work instantaneously. This takes lots of time and lots of practice. So at least play, if you can, an hour or two a day. That's if you can. It's understandable if you're doing stuff, but if you're doing nothing and you want to get better at Beat Saber, play an hour or two a day. It's so worth it. And that's how I got so much better at the game, and that's how I'm where I'm at now, is because of lots of practice. Another thing is headset shake. You don't want to have too much headset shake, because it will alter, the notes will be a little bit distorted. You want to try to swing calmly and make it to where your head is shaking less. So I would recommend having less headset shake, or trying your best to make your head shake less. Especially with this Oculus on your head, obviously your headset's going to shake. So tighten up your headset and just, do your best to try not to shake your head. The next thing is hilting, right? So we're getting into the accuracy category. You're gonna want to hilt. Okay, so basically what hilting is, you're hitting, rather than hitting the block with the tip of your saber, you're gonna be hitting it with kind of the back of your saber, if that makes sense. So say I was hitting a block, right? I would be hitting it the moment I see it. But what you're gonna want to do is, whenever it gets closer to you, you're going to want to hit it. You don't want to hit it at the very tip. So I'll put an example up on screen of what I mean. So that'll help. Another thing is playing slower songs, okay? Play accuracy maps. Play maps that are way too easy for you, so example, let's use $100 bills again. We're playing $100 bills, right? And I want to get better at accuracy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play it either slower. I'm going to use slower song, right? Or I'm going to play it on easy mode and just try to get, say, a 98 or so. Try to go above what you usually get and try your best to act it. So if I wanted to, learn how to act Expert Plus, I would go on Expert Plus, play it slower, learn how to hilt it in a way, and then I'd play at normal speed. And then you try to get maybe a 96 or something like that. try to get the 96. Try your best, so just anywhere above what you're usually used to. So say you're like averaging a 98 or an 89 or something like that. Say you're averaging an 89. You're going to want to go for like a 91 or a 92, right? That's just how it goes. Another thing is your swings, like how big they are. There's a such thing as overswing. You don't want to overswing. That makes your accuracy worse. It's just as bad as underswinging. So let's talk about underswinging first. So underswinging is whenever you swing lightly, hit the note, right? You can hit it in the middle, but it's going to be like, you don't want gray notes, okay? You hit the number that comes after, right? You don't want it to be gray. You want that note to be white. You want it to be a white number, right? So if you're so say you're focusing on accuracy, like the basics of accuracy, and not, like going for bigger accuracy, just like the basics. You're going to want to try your best to get all white numbers. But this is for people who are, say, better at the game, right? They're good. They have almost all expert plus songs pass, right? They're going to want to go for 110s and above, right? You're going to want to worry about 110s and above rather than just getting white numbers, because you're past that point, okay? Another thing, so that's underswinging, right? Overswinging is whenever you use mostly wrist, right? This kind of ties in to my wrist and arm point. So whenever you overswing, it's mostly when people use just wrist, okay? You're going to want to use, like I said, a combination of arm and wrist. Another thing that helps with this is swinging smoothly. Now, when you swing smoothly, it helps with accuracy. It also helps you hilt. It makes you, like, swinging aggressively is not good, okay? You don't want to be swinging aggressively. You want to be swinging smoothly. Like, I'll put an example up on screen. That is how you're supposed to hit it, okay? That's an example of swinging smoothly. It also helps, which goes into our next topic, time dependency. Time dependency is basically, you don't want to be swinging at a 90-degree angle. You want to be swinging straight, right? You want to have your saber straight, swinging it straight down while hilting. This will help you much more with accuracy. Another example, right, that you can have is if you want to get good ag, you don't have to swing straight down. You can hit the note at an angle, not tilting your saber at an angle, but hitting the note at an angle. So it's kind of like slightly, like, I don't know how to, so I'll put an example up on screen, like a drawing example. That's how it's supposed, that's what I mean, right? You can hit it sideways, and then it'll still be cut. As long as that note goes through the middle, is sliced through the middle, you can get a 115. It doesn't matter if it's straight down, straight up, straight to the side. As long as you get that perfect cut in the middle, you're fine. Alright, now I'm going to get into a pretty big topic. This depends on, like, what headset you're on, but this is a very, like, for you topic, if this makes sense. Your controller settings, okay? Your controller settings. This is a huge thing. So, say you're like me on Quest 3, right? You're going to want to tweak your controller settings to what is comfortable for you. I've been using the same controller settings for a few years now, and I have manually tweaked my swings. After you get your controller settings, just because your accuracy is bad after your controller settings are fixed, doesn't mean that it can't get better. It won't automatically get good. It's just about the way you swing. Like, this goes into swinging with your arm and wrist. It's just about the way you swing, okay? It'll take a lot of time, but controller settings do help. And this also goes into my next topic with curve, right? Saber curve. You don't want to have inward or outward. A little bit of outward curve is fine. But you do not want to have that curve in there. Not a lot of it. Because, so this is why controller settings, this is what they'll help with. Is if you have curves, so say you're swinging straight, your saber will curve because you do not have controller settings. That is what controller settings are for. This will also help you with accuracy. It will help you with everything, okay? You just need to fix that curve. And how you can fix that is, say you're in the middle of a song, right? I would play an easy song and just swing slowly and see if you have curve, right? And just keep on tweaking your controller settings until that curve is for the most part, completely gone. Like, you should have a little bit of curve, but if it's gone for the most part, then you're fine, okay? So you're gonna want to tweak that. The next thing is your grip, okay? Your grip on your controllers. This doesn't really matter. It's mostly about preference, right? It is all about preference, actually. So say you're on Quest 2 and you're using claw grip, right? I've always used default grip, right? It doesn't really matter your grip, but it's just some people like it's about what's comfortable. Say claw grip is more comfortable for you, then use claw grip. Like, it's going to help in the long run if claw grip is more comfortable for you, because then you won't have, say, injuries or, you know, stuff like that, and it'll be more comfortable to swing heavier BPM and accuracy, like get better accuracy. It'll be way more comfortable, like using a different grip that you're comfortable with. Another thing is pro mode. So it can help, okay, but it depends on who you are. Do not use pro mode for heavy tech. It's just gonna cause you to miss more, okay? But I would use pro mode for maps that are easier. It helps with it helps with accuracy, kind of, but it also helps you, like, learn. So it makes the hitboxes much smaller, right? It makes the hitboxes the actual size of the note. So it'll help you actually hit the note where you're supposed to hit the note, rather than hitting outside of the note, causing you to hit low accuracy. It'll help you learn how to get better at accuracy in general. Another thing, like I said, slow, not aggressive. Do not swing aggressive. I had this mistake, and it put me in a lock in the ranked 200s and 300s for a year and a half. It's not good. Don't swing aggressive. Just try to learn your best how to swing slower. Even if it's a pain in the butt, just try your best to learn. It's really worth it to try to swing slower. Like, just do your best, you know? And like I said, all this stuff, it's not going to help you improve immediately. It's going to take into effect slower, but it'll take into effect faster than what you're doing now. It'll help in the long run, okay? And the main thing, like I said in the beginning, is practice, okay? I cannot express enough how many people will ask me or my friend how to get better. We constantly say, every time they ask, practice, okay? It's always about practice. If you don't practice, then you're not going to get better. It's not going to immediately take into effect. And if you don't like the game that much to practice it enough, then don't play it, okay? So yeah, that's my tutorial on how to get better at the game. It's been forever since someone's made a video on this. It's been like 2 years, so I thought it'd just be nice to make a video on this. And yeah, thanks for watching.